Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to say Shalom to the elect of the nation Israel, who we endure all things for. Shalom to all the Akim, Wa Akwakim, who believe on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai unto the bitter end. I say it again. Shalom. So like the title says, let the Lord speak for you. Plain and simple, easy to understand. Let Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai speak for you. And let yourself and whatever you have in your heart stand by the wayside. Shalom to brother Enos, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Rakatah, brother. It was in my spirit the other day to want to talk about it, so I said, you know what? Let's just bring it out right now through the spirit. Because it's easy to get all caught up with your thoughts, you know, certain emotions, things that go on a day-to-day life. It's easy to get caught up in your own thoughts. But when you have the scriptures in your head and you understand that everything written in the scriptures was just for us and nobody else, it makes it that much more comforting to actually read the stuff that was meant for us, the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be safe from what's to come. It's better to let Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai speak than for us to speak. Let me start on the book of 1 Peter 4 and 11. And this is going to be quick. It's not going to be long. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh giveth, that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Exactly. So we always want to look to the scriptures for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a very minor task, a big task, a medium task, or any case scenario. It's best always to look to the scriptures for everything, because everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. You know what? Since I'm talking about it, let's bring it out. Everything was written for us as the hopeful elect in the scriptures to reminisce on and then apply it to our lives. This is Romans 15. And 4. For whatsoever things were written for aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And that's all we really have in this captivity, in Babylon the Great, and wherever our people are, just hope. And we look at our ancient ancestors and we see how they lived their lives, how they went about certain tasks, how the Lord had certain missions for them. We look at them as a good example as to how we should conduct ourselves on a day-to-day basis. Now, there's times when some of our people, our ancient forefathers, were completely out of order. But again, that's an example. Those are just times, you know, them being men, Israelites, they had their errors, and then they corrected those errors. And we have all the greatest examples known to mankind. Shalom to Tahawam Lab, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, brother. We have so many great examples. And because of that, it's best to look at those things, to read about it, and then to apply it to our lives, because it's all based on wisdom. And what's the first thing that comes with wisdom? You have to fear the Lord. You get it, actually. Applying these scriptures and everything in between, it only prospers us. It never ever does anything bad to us. Proverbs 14 and 27. The fear of Yahweh is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. So everything that the Lord has laid out for us, and Shalom to the sis Athena Padro, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, sister. And I see the precepts, the water, brother. So the whole point is, we got everything we need in the Holy Scriptures, from the 66 books laid out in the Holy Bible, And then you have the rest, 14 other books laid out in the Apocrypha. There's so much wisdom, there's so much insight that we can apply so easily. And then we don't have to look to our thoughts when something might not be going our way. We don't have to look at these other things that we think in our heads is the right way. You're supposed to cast those things off and look to the Lord for his trust and his comfort, not for our own things. Let me get Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Our lob, our mind can easily betray us. Shalom to Brother Angel Padilla. Gabak Shana, Yahweh Shemiel Shai. Brakatah, brother. Our heart is going to just try and justify any form of wickedness or anything that may seem like it's good for us when it's really not. When we have everything written in the scriptures for us to look and to meditate on as a guidance for us, to be our light, like it talks about in Psalms 119. But before I do that, let me continue on. I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Exactly. The Lord is always going to ponder and figure out and put you in certain situations to see how you're going to conduct yourself. Are you going to lean on your own understanding, or are you going to actually trust in him and focus on him and let the things of this world, your own thoughts, other people's thoughts, their opinions, their criticisms, whatever they have to say, to infiltrate your trust in the Lord? And the thing is, we're not going to allow those things to do that. Not at all. Because our trust and our hope is in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and nobody else. Because nobody else is going to save us. Nobody else is going to literally give us the greatest advice that we can possibly have right now in the most wicked world, in the most wicked generation we've ever seen. This is our book. It's nobody else's book. And it's a very popular set of books. Think about it. There's billions of people on this earth, people who claim to be quote unquote Christians. They supposedly follow the Bible when they really don't. And we're the people of the book. So we should be following it to the T. Joshua 1:6. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people thou shalt divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. The point, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, consistently. In the ancient world, we were required to look at the Torah, from Genesis to Numbers. But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. We're going to have good success. Nobody else in this earth is going to give us way more success, way more prosperous riches and wealth than the Lord himself. Yahweh is the one that's responsible for uplifting you and also making you a base. So just knowing that alone, you should have all your trust in the Lord no matter what. Verse 9, have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For Yahweh thy God is with thee, whither so thou goest. So the Lord is always going to be with you as long as you're abiding with him. Plain and simple, easy to understand. Let me get Job from Enos 33, verses 31 through 33. Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me, hold thy peace, and I will speak. If thou hast anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify thee. If not, hearken unto me, hold thy peace, and I shall teach thee wisdom. Exactly. Let the Lord be your guiding light, because nobody else is going to help you when things are going south. Of course, we have the brothers, the Akim, few sisters, But at the end of the day, it's really you by yourself and the Lord. You and your thoughts. And it's best to always cast away those thoughts, those very heavy burdens that you think are going to help you when they're really not. They're just burdens, things of being in the flesh. And Job understood that. And he's a great example to look upon, as to stay away from your own thoughts and let the Lord be your guiding light. Let me get Psalms 119. Yeah, this is a quick one. It was just in my spirit to want to talk about it. Psalms 119. Psalms 119 is such an incredible book and chapter. Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. Every false way. All the thoughts that come in your head, all the evil thoughts that try and penetrate you, Shaitan, all these demons and all these filthy opinions of the people and their false gods and what they got to say about anything, it's always going to try and infiltrate you. It's always going to try and find a way to get inside your life. The best thing we can all do is just trust in the Lord. Because again, people are going to do whatever they can. Even Shaitan himself is going to do whatever they can to move you, to remove that rootedness that you have in the Lord. Shalom to Brother Karatazak. Yahweh Shemiel Shai Brakatah, brother. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. None. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So we have the word. We keep the word. We have the faith in Hamashiach Yahawashai. We look at his testimony and everything he's ever done, not just when he was here 2 days ago, but when he was King Solomon, when he was the angel of death, when he was Adam. We looked at everything that has been ever done that Hamashiach Yahawashai had gone through. We look at his testimonies, the prophets' testimonies. Just all of the main people within our nation, we look at them and we see, wow, they've done a lot by just trusting the Lord, period. And leaving off the things that they thought was right in their own eyes. Because it's easy to get caught up in all the BS of this society and people's thoughts and this, that, and the third. Your own thoughts. You are your own worst enemy. I know I am. I'm my own worst enemy. I have sworn, and I'll perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Yahweh, according unto thy word. Exactly. Quicken me, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, through your only begotten Son. Because these words, they're faithful and true. They're actually what rejuvenates us back to life. Anything outside of that, it's not going to do that. Not these false gods, not their idols, whatever they got to say that's not really deep. All these various things that's promoted in this wicked society, in this wicked generation, is not going to prosper us. You know, Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, none of it is going to help our people, especially the hopeful elect. And the hopeful elect, they're already locked in. The elect, they know who the names are. And they're trusting in the Lord until Hamashiach Yahawashai finally makes his appearance on this earth and finally does away with all this wickedness on this earth. You know what? And I'm going to close it out right there with Isaiah 33 and 6. It was going to be quick. The water, brother. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. And that's the greatest treasure we have. See all these freaks, these weirdos, these people trusting in their own thoughts. You know, people say follow your heart. Nah, all of that is gonna get you completely killed by the Lord. Point blank, period. Because again, it said right there, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. We have the knowledge. We already know what's going to happen in the future. The average Babylonian, they don't know what's going on. They're so caught up in all the ruckus, the folly, the madness that this whole world promotes, not understanding that the prophets, the servants of the Lord, they already have the answers. But don't worry, because they don't look at us as prestigious. They don't look at us as someone to be listening to. Don't worry. Most people, we're the last people that they expect to want to listen to. But when Jacob's trouble hits, exactly, bro. When Jacob's trouble really comes, yo, bro, it's gonna be when that time comes, it's gonna be lights out. No more talking. And they're gonna be the same people that are gonna go to the altar. They're gonna check out where the prophets were. They're gonna ask for the prophets. They're actually gonna go to the altar during Jacob's trouble and find the prophets and say, where were they? Yo, where is he? Where's that guy? He used to preach all the time. Now it's gonna be too late, buddy. Y'all call us crazy, psychos, terrorists, all these ridiculous things when all we're doing is just preaching righteousness unto our people. And we understand only a small remnant is gonna get saved. And we okay with that. The blood is off our hands. And all we gotta do is let the books do all the speaking and let everything else fall into place. And with that, tarry not to turn to the Lord. Exactly. Tarry not to turn to the Lord. Speaking for myself. Speaking for myself as well. Tarry not to turn to the Lord. You brothers, you sisters, let's stay focused. And with that, I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I want to say, Thawada for the precepts, brothers. Shalom.